You know, if you're not doing things that help you recover fully, then you're only going to see, some of the benefits. Hey guys, Mark McKillier here with Live Anabolic, and do y'all feel like this old man right here sometimes after your workouts? Are you finding it kind of hard to recover? Are you sore? Not just for a few hours, but for days? Today's video, I'm going to give you several different ways to recover faster after a really tough workout. All right, if you feel like this guy right here, all right, all tired and worn out, all right, there could be several things going on, all right? And so let's talk about muscle soreness and how are we, what are the different ways we can recover quicker from that? Because there's no such thing as totally eliminating soreness when you're working out. And what I mean by that is if you're actually pushing yourself hard enough when you're exercising, you are going to get sore. That's just kind of part of it. But remember, guys, that's that good soreness that we talk about, all right? So while you're working out, if you're really pushing yourself hard, if you're doing a drop set or a superset or something like that, your muscles, I don't care which muscle group it is, but if you're pushing yourself to near failure, you're going to get really sore while you're doing that particular set or that circuit, all right? Now, that is due to something called lactic acid that builds up in your muscles as you're working out, okay? So it's a waste product of converting glucose and protein into energy and having the muscle contract, okay? And then the lactic acid builds up and your blood is constantly flowing through those muscles and it flushes it out. It goes to your liver transforms it back into glucose, which is a usable energy, back to your muscle. But if you're pushing it really hard and for long enough, okay, typically it's about 45 seconds to a minute, all right? Your muscles, your body can't flush that lactic acid out fast enough and it starts building up, all right? And then that's when you start feeling the pain in the muscle. And of course, that's the good feeling. We all have that, okay? That's something that we're actually shooting for, guys. But as soon as you stop exercising, all right, within just a few seconds, your blood has time to flush all that lactic acid out of those muscles, all right? It starts converting it back in your liver, all right, to a usable energy source, and you cannot recover. Now, if you really kill yourself hard, okay, in a high intensity interval training type of method, all right, you can build up so much lactic acid that even though your muscles are no longer sore, it affects your whole body, all right? And then the whole rest of the workout, you're just exhausted. All right, but that's not what I'm gonna be talking about today, all right? I'm really gonna be focusing on something else called DOMS. Delayed onset muscle soreness, all right? So that is the other good soreness that you get typically the day after a really tough workout, all right? You wake up, and you go to the bathroom in the morning, you're like, oh boy, my ass is really sore, my hamstrings are hurting me, or my chest is really sore. And that is due to the workout that you did the day before, all right? So that is something I want to talk about today, and how do we recover faster, because that's a multi-day recovery. All right, so why is DOMS different than the lactic acid? Well, when we're exercising and we're doing strength training, we're putting a lot of load on those muscle fibers intentionally. And of course, we're creating little tiny microscopic tears in the muscles, okay? And that's the whole point of it, because the more damage we do to our muscles, the more they repair and overcompensate, all right? They get bigger and stronger over the course of the next several days as they regrow, okay? And that's part of this whole DOMS process. So when those muscle fibers get damaged during our workouts, all right, they start to repair, and when they repair, they get inflamed, all right? It's kind of like spraining your ankle. Remember, any of you guys sprain your ankles when you were younger playing sports and it would just swell up, all right? Well, this is like a little tiny miniature version of that, all right? So all these little damaged muscle fibers develop an inflammation around them, even though your arm doesn't just swell up, all right, like a sprained ankle. But little tiny, all right, bits of inflammation occur in the muscles, all right, around your body that you were exercising. And that's a good thing, right? But it's going to take a little while to get that out of there. And that's not lactic acid. That's a completely different thing going on than when we're actually feeling the lactic acid during the actual workout, all right? So the thing is, we want to speed up this recovery process of the DOMS, the delayed onset muscle soreness. And it's not just because it's sore and a little bit painful, it's because if we can get our muscles to repair faster, then we can work out sooner. We can work out that same muscle group sooner. So, you know, while your chest is sore, it's totally fine to work other muscle groups. It won't delay your chest from recovering over the next several days. But we want to just speed up the recovery process as much as possible, partly to reduce the soreness and partly just to see more benefit from our workouts. All right, so the first principle I want to talk about today is something called active recovery. It's a real straightforward thing, guys, and that is, don't sit on the couch. Don't just rest. Don't just go to the office and sit in front of your computer the day after when you're really sore, okay? Do something, even if it's not a workout day, right? It may be a rest day. It may be the weekend, all right? You may not have a planned workout that day. Do something active. And that's just about anything that just gets the blood flowing, guys. And it could be as simple as a brisk walk, all right? Now, guys, when your legs get really sore, and I have people ask me this all the time that I train, I mean, they feel like they can barely walk sometimes, especially for beginners, all right? You get really sore when you're just not used, when your muscles are not used to certain exercises. And I tell them the best way to get rid of that soreness in your legs is to get on a stationary bike and pedal, all right? So not a lot of resistance, but man, getting the blood, forcing the blood flowing through whatever sore muscle group you have is a great way to help flush out a lot of the toxins that build up, all right, from those damaged muscle fibers and the inflammation that I was talking about earlier. So active recovery can be just about anything. So let's say your chest is sore, I don't care. You know, move it around. Really work your chest muscles real lightly. You don't even necessarily have to lift weights, but you want to get the blood flowing. And I don't care if you're doing jumping jacks, if you're on a rowing machine, if you're on the elliptical at the gym, whatever, okay? Just get the heart rate up, okay? And that's gonna help flush out all these toxins that built up and were created when we damaged those muscle fibers. And now that they're repairing, they're creating all kinds of waste, okay, in your body. It'll help get that out of there. And of course, the quicker we get rid of the inflammation, the quicker the muscle group is gonna heal. All right, number 2 is real easy, guys. Water, hydration. All right, it's kind of a boring subject to talk about, but it's something that I know I don't do properly. I don't drink enough water, okay? And so, man, guys, if I'm not doing it, you guys probably aren't either. So force yourselves to drink more water. That's just part of the whole repair process. Especially if you're doing, you know, really intense workouts where you might start building up a little sweat, you do get dehydrated, all right? And it takes longer than you really would think to rehydrate. Now, typically on days where I go out, let's say I play golf, especially in the summer, guys, and I'm out there all day and I'm sweating up a storm. Now, I'm drinking tons of water while I'm playing golf. I probably drink a gallon easily in 18 holes, including Gatorade and things like that have electrolytes in them. I will still come in at the end of the day and be totally dehydrated. And then the following day, I'll weigh myself. I'm still 2 pounds lighter because of all the lost water, even though I was drinking throughout the entire course of the golf round and later that night when I came in. It takes me 2 days to fully rehydrate just after playing golf. So it can also happen when you're doing workout guys, even though it's going to be it's not going to be nearly as severe because you're not going to be working out for 4 or 5 hours like I do when I'm playing golf, right? So make sure you drink plenty of water, and then also while you're doing it, okay, drinking the water the day after, avoid the alcohol, okay, and avoid too much caffeine because those are diuretics. And so, you know, if you start drinking a beer or 2 or having a couple of cocktails at night, it's going to cause you to pee more, and of course you're fighting against yourself. You're trying to get more water into your body and into all those, you know, tissues in our body, and then the alcohol or the caffeine are going to be, forcing you to pee or make you want to pee a lot more. And so any kind of a diuretic is going to pull water out of your bloodstream, and it's going to go to your bladder and then out into the toilet. So let's avoid that. All right, number 3, sleep. I don't know, is water more boring or is sleep more boring to talk about, right? But really important, guys. So if you're not getting enough sleep, you're literally reducing the amount of time that your body has to repair those muscle fibers. And of course, sleep is when you produce most of those great hormones, all right? Testosterone, growth hormone, all those kind of things. So guys, please, especially if you're having a hard time recovering from your daily workouts, find a way to get more sleep in there. I mean, sometimes you're going to blame it on your schedule, all right? Sometimes you go to bed early and you don't have to wake up early. You got plenty of time to get to sleep in, but you're just not getting that good deep sleep, all right? You're tossing and turning. We get older, I'm the same way. I toss and turn a lot, all right? I get up to go to the bathroom at least once, sometimes 2 or 3 times a night for whatever reason, all right? So, guys, if you haven't tried it, at least give it a shot. Try a sleep supplement or something like that. I know we got a really good one that we're proud of. It's called Anabolic Reload PM, all right? And it's you just take it 20 minutes before you go to bed. It's real easy. And of course, it's got 6 ingredients in there, and 5 ingredients are made specifically to help recover, for your muscles to recover and repair. And it's got a fantastic sleep ingredient in there. And I get tons of feedback from guys saying they love it because they just wake up really rested. They have these crazy, intense dreams that means they're getting deep sleep, all right? So, give it a try if you guys are having a hard time sleeping, or if you don't feel like you're recovering fully. It's a super easy way to try to improve, not just your sleep, but also your body's time to help produce all those good hormones that we make. And remember, when we're sleeping at night is when your body produces most of the hormones that we need to build muscle and feel good throughout the day. And it's also when your body repairs most of the damaged muscle fibers. So, a whole lot's going on when you're sleeping. And if you're not getting that good, sound, deep, restful sleep, then, you're really shortchanging yourself. And then, if you want to try, click on the link below this video and it'll take you to our website. And then, of course, the website is where you're going to have tons of information about that product, about Anabolic Reload PM. And it has all the ingredients in there and what each ingredient does. So I don't want to bore you with that. So yes, I know it's boring, but sleep is just as important as the previous 2 examples I gave you. All right, guys, the last idea, guys, this little thing right here, a foam roller, all right? So the problem with foam rolling is it's not as boring as sleep and water, right? It's a lot more painful, all right? All the other things I explained earlier are real easy and they don't hurt, okay? This does hurt a little bit. So when you do these really tough workouts, guys, and you get sore, you're creating lots of little knots, and it's not just in the muscles themselves, it's in the myofascia, all right? That's all the connective tissue that runs all around our body. And so I know I have a lot of problem with this. I get terrible knots typically in my back, all right? So guys, get you a little foam roller. These things are super cheap. They're easy to use. It's just getting down on the ground and using them. So this is not a video about how to do the foam roller. I'm just talking about different, kind of clever ways to recover faster, all right, so that you see more benefits from all these workouts, all right, that you're putting yourself through. And that's one thing I want you guys to keep in mind when you're going through some of, or using some of these techniques that I just talked about, is you're pushing yourself. I mean, you're going through a lot of trouble, a lot of pain and suffering when you're doing these workouts, especially you guys that are killing it, all right? So why only see 60 or 70% of the benefit, of the potential benefit from these workouts, when if you just did some of these things I'm talking about, you can see 100% of the benefit. So all this working out, all this exercise is good for everybody. But if you're not eating right, if you're not sleeping right, if you're not doing things that help you recover fully as best as your body can, then you're only going to see some of the benefits. All right, so I hate to think that I'm kicking my ass and working out hard and only getting so-so results just because I'm lazy in other areas. So there's a whole lot more to this working out than just doing the actual workout itself. It's all the other things that go on in your life that are really important. And then just to kind of wrap it all up, guys, you're not necessarily going to see results overnight from some of these things that I've been talking about, although some of them really will help you within a day, okay, or two, all right, reducing that muscle soreness. But guys, if you stick with it and do some of these things on a regular basis, day in, day out, week after week, you're going to see fantastic results. And remember, never give up on yourself.